It's Nintendo Sony Free 2011 here. Came in with bringing you guys the rest of Intros Outros channel on the Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. And bitch, you bright, yeah. Anyways, yes, today, my friends, yeah, just for real quick news, Nintendo officially said Nintendo Japan. This comes from real quick on Nintendo Super Animal Crossing plushies are going to be a thing. So as much I don't really give a crap about it. I never cared about Animal Crossing ever, and I probably never will. Except for the music. Music is pretty badass. Other than that, I really don't care for it. That's really, really funny. Good for collectors. And some Sonic news really quick. I might talk about this on my future video. I don't know. Sonic Boss Team says they wanted to take good care of 2D and 3D Sonic. That's pretty fucking wild. So they still want to give a lot of old school nostalgia for the characters, like old school fans that grew up with it like I did. It's pretty freaking badass. But anyways, let's get to the video here real quick. There. The PS5, the DualShock. I know everyone talked about it. I heard about this. Oh man, I really wish. I didn't watch the whole video. I watched a little bit of Young Ye's reaction video to this. So shout out to him. I'll leave the link to his reaction down in the description box below. Oh man, PS5 dual handsets with freaking this dude right here, the man, myth, the legend, Jeff Keighley. I'm gonna watch it 3, 2, 1, get it in. I'll put my little bits and pieces of how it may or may not look. I didn't get to see the whole thing completely. I really wish I did, because I muted it most of the time. So yeah. Oh man, I really, really want to see how this looks with the buttons and everything else. I really want to check this out. Let's go. This is very, very recent. No, it's probably like 4 or 5 days old. It's real, real old by the time you guys are seeing it. Let's do it anyways. That's a lot bigger than I was thinking. Holy shit. Sick. Oh, and then of course they played the one that they were talking about 2 months ago. I think it was like May or June when it came out.
This right here is the PlayStation 5 DualSense. Yes, it's powered up because we are going to go hands-on with the PlayStation 5. Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley, and this is a special Summer Game Fest stream. Really a special year for all of us that new consoles are coming out, and a lot of people have...
It's not going to be until the end of this year, though. I really hope I could get my hands on that PS5, though. I really want to try to get it. It's probably the last final console I'll be able to get. Just certain personal beliefs and sort of religions. And having a relationship and all that stuff. God and Jesus. But still, I digress. Let's go on.
Wondered what PlayStation 5 is going to play like. A big part of that is the controller and the experience of playing games, especially because this controller is a little different than the traditional DualShock. And I've got that here.
That's an understatement. That's a whole lot more different than the other PlayStation 5. And they'll probably have different skins, different brandings, different logos for the PS5, like maybe different like customizations for it that you can get. And that's probably not going to be till next year, 2021.
PS4 Pro DualShock. This is a form factor that really has been around since the original PlayStation. In various different forms. There weren't analog sticks back then, but the DualSense introduces a couple new innovations. And having played it here for a couple of hours, I'll kind of summarize those for you before we get into some gameplay. The big things that I've noticed are the adaptive triggers, the L2 and R2. So outside of the game environment, you just kind of pull these down like any controller. But when you're in a game, there's actually the possibility to create tension points or haptics inside of these adaptive triggers. So imagine pulling this down and feeling the pressure from a bow and a bow and arrow, or even in an action game, pulling this down and feeling active reload points where designers can actually...
Oh yeah, that's that whole sense of smell, sense of like sort of thing. There's no smell-o-vision yet, but there probably will be. Oh, there definitely will be. And it really like gives you a deeper level of immersiveness shit on there. Maybe not escapism personally, but it gives you the level of immersiveness shit there. Holy fuck. It's insane.
Create tension points as you pull this down at certain percentages and give the player feedback. So I think that's a unique sensation that is going to have a pretty big impact, I think, longer term on gameplay. The other thing inside of this controller are the haptics. So PlayStation had Rumble for quite some time, but the haptics add another layer to the experience. It's not just sort of one rumble point. So it's not just kind of on or off. There's the ability to create other sensations, as you'll see in this demo I'm going to show you of Astrobot's Playroom. You'll see what ice feels like, what sand feels like, and different surfaces. The other thing that I've noticed is that the speaker in the DualSense, it feels like it has much more range than the PlayStation 4 speaker, and it often directly ties into what's happening with the haptics. At least in Astro's Playroom, there's much more variety in the types of sounds coming out of the speaker. And I'm sure every game will use it differently or may not use it as much. But at least in this demo, you really do sense that there's a lot going on with the haptics and there's sound that ties into it. And then when you combine that with the Tempest 3D engine in PlayStation 5 for the speakers, the sort of harmony between the controller sound and what's happening in the PlayStation 5 is really, really unique and interesting. So those are the things I noticed in it. Some people have asked also about, like, what's the weight of it? What does it feel like? Compared to the DualShock for PS4, it definitely weighs a little bit more, but doesn't feel substantially heavier. And if anything, I think it actually has a little more heft to it in a good way, that it feels more structured and there's more sort of inside of it. So centered, but definitely feels good to me. So let's talk about what we're going to play today. What we're going to check out is Astro's Playroom, and that is the game that comes packed with...
Isn't the one like, it's kind of like a copy cut paste version, like Nintendo's like Link's Adventure mixed with the other one, that with Mario Odyssey, and I think it's supposed to be like Little Big Planet. I've seen a little bit of this gameplay before. I didn't even watch the whole thing though, but let's get into it.
PlayStation 5. It is pre-installed on the system. You don't even have to download it. And it's not...
I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, I heard a little bit of stuff about it. It's all right. Maybe it's for a younger audience. Who knows? Or an older one. Who knows?
Just like a tutorial demo of 15 minutes. It's a multi-hour game. We're going to get to play one section of it today. And I think the reason we're playing this is because it comes with the system and it really showcases the controller. So, of course, everyone wants to see what Horizon Forbidden West looks like on the system. And this is a demo that is focused, I think, more on the controller and the haptics and the adaptive triggers versus trying to showcase the power of the SSD or, the true graphics horsepower of PS5. So that's all stuff we can look forward to. We've seen those games, at the event, and they look spectacular. So that's another aspect of PS5 that I'm sure hopefully we'll get to see more of in the coming weeks. But at least right now, we're going to look at the controller and how that relates to gameplay with Astro's Playroom. So let's call it up here and go hands-on live with PS5. So you can even hear the sound of my bot walking around. So full 6 degrees of motion as always. Looks like I'm going to have to flick up here on the pad to release my bot. And we are in CPU Plaza. The thing about this game, as you will see in this demo, there are a lot of references to the history of PlayStation. So Cooling Springs is the area that is open on Jeff's demo of this game. And we are going to jump in here and just go through this experience with the bot. All right, so we're on the beach here. There are beach balls you can play around with. There are some bots enjoying life, sunning themselves. Bot on vacation here. Should I disrupt them? Let's do it. How rude of me, right? And then we're going to head on over here into this sandstorm created by, I guess, these CPU fans. And again, when you get into this environment, I'm static here, but you hear the crisp sounds of sand coming at you. There's a tension in the controller from going over this sand environment. And then you...
That's a really crispy ass HD, like 1080p, 2100p sound. Crisp as really sounds like it's hitting me, man. Wild.
Push further in. Here we are. And look! The rubber ducks are back! Remember the duck demos? PlayStation 3, I think that was? Rubber
Is that supposed to be like an Untitled Goose Game reference? I don't know.
ducks. All right, so I have this suit, and I'm going to push up on the controller, zip him up. This is the frog suit, and this frog shoot shows off the adaptive controllers. So I'm going to move my controller left and right, and these adaptive triggers are really, really cool, and I've never felt something like this before in a console controller. As you push down on the controller, there's tension now in these adaptive triggers, and it's programmable. One thing that I think is really fun about this demo is it makes you think of how these technologies are going to be used in other games. So you think of Ratchet and Clank. I mean, obviously a lot of this gameplay similar in style to a Ratchet game. So you think of all those crazy graphics that we saw on the stream, but with this type of control and this kind of fun. So now we've made it to the frozen pool area of Cooling Springs. And here, we're going to pull down on this. And again, you see this ice, but you hear a storm literally inside of the Dualsence, and sort of a small little rumble from the haptics. Little ice shards here. As you go past every ice shard, you hear the little tink of the ice shard. I wonder if I put this up to the mic, this is not ASMR, this is PSMR.
They really say ASMR. Oh no, Jeff. Mr. Keeley, please don't get in that. I'm not sure if he's in that. I don't follow the dude on Twitter or Instagram, but please don't tell me he's in that whole ASMR thing. Oh man. There's one ASMR person I do follow, just like 2 million plus subscribers, like GB ASMR. And it's because she does a lot of real cool cosplay and shit. That's the only reason I follow her.
You guys hear that? His little
I'm not making fun of anyone that gets into that, but it's just not for me.
footsteps. All this is coming out of the controller. Got a checkpoint here. Now this one, you actually have to blow into the controller. Again, this one, you pull back, just like a bow and arrow almost. And look, I unlocked a PlayStation 3. I have a PlayStation 5. Well, I had a lot of fun playing with the DualSense controller and Astrobot. And I wanted to get a little more information on all things PlayStation. So joining me now is the worldwide head of marketing at PlayStation, Eric Lempel. Eric, how we doing?
Hi, Jeff.
All right, I don't really care about any of the corporate stuff that they're going to even say about this, because they really don't give a shit about gamers and like professional game developer designers and all that, and the real hard people that put their blood, sweat, and tears and soul into to freaking bust their ass every day to game devs. I don't get enough credit. So I'm just going to stop it there. Yeah, overall thoughts, views, and opinions, I thought it was pretty awesome. They were pretty kick-ass. I'm not going to watch the whole entire thing. It's probably just a lot of CEO corporate talk that don't really give a shit about the people. I don't care about the money in your pocket and the wallets, in my own personal opinion. That side of the game industry, I try to tend to stay away from a lot. That's why I listen to a lot of people like Greencast Dude or Spawnwave or even RGT85. I'll listen to him a little bit. Same with Young Ye and all of them. People like those. Anyways, that's all I got to say for now. This controller's going to be freaking smooth and epic and badass as all hell. And I was saying about it earlier, it's pretty damn awesome. I think it's going to be off the damn chain. A lot of the sound effect and digital technologies. I was a little nervous and tiny bit triggered for personal private reason I'm not going to get into, because it's going to be tinfoil theory shit. When he said programmable stuff and matter, and then he's talking about technologies, that still scared me a little bit. But then again, I know about Sony's history beyond their video games when it comes to like a lot of their movies and their technology and stuff like that. Big part I have a huge disagreement with for personal, not really religious reasons, the stuff that gets in a very, very big, dark, demonic realm. Let's just leave it at that. And leads you down to a very evil, sinful place when you're done with this life. Which is, of course, some people may believe it, some people not. It's hell. But anyways, I just don't play every single game Sony has. I'll play some of them. Others for personal, private reasons I don't play. Because it goes against, stuff that I grew up with when I was still in church and stuff. Anyways, that's all I gotta say for now. I'm out of here. Links to description box down below. Cartel, so I'm done. Peace out once again, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and fangirls, toxic bonus. I'll see you when I see you guys a day of a night where you're out there. Any more future content share, including video game industry news, Twitch around beef news, internet news, and that's it. Peace out, let's talk. Ladies and miles, see you on the flip side. Take it easy, I'm gone. Peace. Later.